That must have been so soul satisfying to be
Yeah,
recognized for that piece that
abs-
meant so much, you know?
absolutely, absolutely. Especially, that came from the heart. And it's like one of those things, if somebody else saw that and felt, not just somebody, but many people saw that and felt it. So it's a beautiful thing because the thing about art, it's all about impact for me.
Hey friends, welcome to Tradition Cafe, the spot where the past bumps into the present and we get to sip our favorite drinks while digging into the stories that make people, well, people. I'm Anna Xavier, your host. In each episode, we'll talk art, passions, customs, celebrations, everyday traditions, and how people's cultures shape the way they live, work, and create today. So if you're like me and love a good story, pull up a chair, grab your cup, and thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Tradition Cafe. Today, I am joined by Tae Poetically Divine, a poet, performer, filmmaker, and community voice whose art is intentional, layered, and deeply felt. We'll talk about her artistic journey, her journey as a poet and a filmmaker, and the inspiration behind Ancestors and Descendants. And later, she'll share Descendants with us in her own words. She is the MC of the Rhythmics Cultural Works 2026 Unity Fest in Alameda, California, a festival in Chochnyo Park celebrating arts and culture of Africa and beyond. So pull up a chair, grab a drink, and let's talk to Tae Poetically Divine. Hi, Tae. Welcome to Tradition
Hi.
Cafe.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Good to be
Thank
here.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm so looking forward to this conversation. You are my first poet on Tradition
That's
Cafe.
great.
Tae Poetically Divine. How did you come into that name?
So my name is Shantae. It's spelled with an I, so it's unique. And it actually derives from India. It means Shantae was spelled with an I, means peace. But Tay is just what people have called me growing up.
Ah,
So my name is Shantae, so just Tay for short, Tay, all kind of little names, Potatokins, like, stuff that my family used to just call me. Yeah, one of my cousins, she
so
called me
cute.
Potatokins. But anyway, so Tay is that's just a name that I'm known for just because my name is Shantae. Now, the poetically divine aspect comes from my poetry. It's because, I'm a poet first, and my poetry really stems from like a spiritual standpoint. When I go into writing, when I do anything in the arts, it's spiritual. So
Right.
I thought it'd be appropriate to name myself poetically divine because I feel like the art that I'm creating is not only just kind of off coming from a holy place, but a sacred place. So Tay Poetically Divine. That's how I got the name.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. So, do you consider poetry your primary medium for your creative expression?
Absolutely. I'm a poet first, and everything else just kind of falls in line.
Mm.
I'll do a poem, then I'll create like a film, or I can do, any other form of artwork with it. But it's always starts off with a poem because I'm already kind of visionary in my poetry. So it's much easier to just make a film with it because I'm already seeing the vision of it as I'm creating the poem. So
Okay, so you started with poetry and then
Mhm.
did you go spoken word and then film, or did you take a different where how many
I
paths
did.
were there?
So it was many. Because then we're gonna kinda get into if we wanna get into how I even started poetry, then that maybe I can kinda break it down. But just to give you an answer to what you just asked, when
Yeah.
I was younger, it was just straight poetry. Like, I would just write. That was it. Started writing at 8 years old, had a lot of feelings inside. So I would always just write. And then it turned into music, actually. I started to like make
Oh,
little songs, and then I would do like little performances for my parents and my family on the weekends. So it turned into that. And then me and my cousins, we do like little videos. Like back when we had to like use like sheets to make backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Like we were doing that kind of stuff. Like we used to
yes.
change the color of the
Yes.
sheets, change our clothes. Like we were those kind of kids.
Mm.
So yeah, and then just as an adult though, definitely the spoken word came later because I was
Oh.
such a quiet kid. So spoken word didn't come to me easily, other outside of my family. Like I wasn't doing things in the community with spoken word or anything like that. That came much later, like in my 20s. So yeah, so it was an interesting path. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It does take a certain kind of person to be able to get up and read a poem and express it in the way that you hear it in your head, you know?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that takes a lot of, shall I say, ovaries to get up there.
There we go. There we go. That's the appropriate word to use.
That takes a lot
I
of
got you.
ovaries.
It does. Definitely. Yeah.
How does the idea come to you? Is your inspiration from visuals? Is it I'm so curious.
It just depends because I feel like I get inspired or I feel driven to write something. It could have been something that happened throughout the day. It could be, it really just, it's not, I can't say it's one thing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just a feeling that I get. And it's been this way since I was 8 years old. I just feel like picking up a pen and writing something down. So I just think I value and cherish the moments. So if it's like, I feel like in a moment, it's like, I don't know, I might write about something that I saw on, I don't know, something on the television that kind of made me feel some sort of way. You know what I mean? And in that moment, I'll just jot something down. I have so many books with just random notes and quotes and just what I'm feeling, you know? So my creative process really just comes from, I feel like a spiritual place because it's never like, okay, this is the time I'm going to sit down and only write. You know what I mean? It's not scripted like that. Don't
Mhm.
get me wrong. When I do certain like things that I've done in the community for like the Descendants video and the Ancestors video, obviously that had to be structured a little bit differently because I needed to get it out. And we were doing things for like Heritage Month celebrations and things like that. So that kind of had a deadline. But just
Mhm.
overall, when I write, I just write. There is no script to it or thinking about, oh, I need to get this deadline out. Yeah. So it's just, yeah, it just comes naturally, comes from a spiritual place.
Yeah, and I mean, when you turn it into like film or anything else, then all of a sudden you have to worry about the other people involved too.
Exactly.
And
So that's what
so
I
that
mean.
turns in
It
I
has to
mean,
be
you're
more
still
structured. Yeah.
exactly. And you're
Yeah.
doing your art, of course,
Mhm.
but you're also trying to make it come alive through other people. You don't know if it's going to come across the way that you saw it in your spirit.
Well, here's the thing though, because when I create art, no matter if somebody else is in it or not, it's going to be organic. So the beauty of that and beauty of all of the films that I've done so far is that it is organic because what I did for Ancestors video, and I hope I'm not like talking too much ahead, but for the
No.
Ancestors video, I made sure that, people who were in that video had the
Mhm.
autonomy to just speak. So what I edited out, it was just their own thoughts. It was no adding anything, really not too much, even taking out too much, because I kind of told them, oh, well, this is probably a time frame, but you just speak. How are you your ancestors' wildest dream? As simple as that. You
Yeah.
tell me why you are that. I'm not giving you a script to say. And the same with Descendants. Like, it wasn't something that we scripted. I just heard their
Yeah.
stories and I put it in a video. So that's why it still comes across so authentic because it is.
Yeah.
It's their true stories without somebody telling them how to tell it.
Yeah, and that way you can take it's two people and their creativity and their art and their oral history matching
Mhm.
and then creating a new art together.
Yep.
I love that. How do you decide
Mhm.
what is going to remain on the page? What is going to be performed? What is going to turn into a film? There's so many options for you because you do
I
it
know.
all.
Well, here's the thing, and let me just talk on certain films. Ancestors, I knew was going to be a film because I work for the Alameda Unified School District, and my department we wanted to put out, which is the Office of Equity, we wanted to put out a film that highlighted Black History Month. And my idea was, we should definitely honor the past and inspire the future. So I was thinking, okay, let's have Black staff, Black people in the community talk about how they are the ancestors' wildest dreams. Brandon Odoms, he is an activist and an artist. He kind of coined that phrase, I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. And I just loved it. I loved the artwork that came with it and the meaning behind it. So
Mhm.
we ran with that and we told, people to tell us how they are the ancestors' wildest dreams. So that one I already knew was going to eventually be a film. It actually started off though as a Zoom meeting. So we
Did
we started
it?
off as a Zoom meeting. The first one we ever did was a Zoom meeting. Now, Vicky Sedlak from AEF, she was the executive director. She just retired. At the time, she was the executive director, and she saw that Zoom meeting and she asked me, hey, how would you feel about actually doing something like this in a studio? So she ended up connecting me with Sean from Castaway Creative Studios out here. And we ended up shooting the video, doing it in an actual studio. So that's how that came about. That's how that came into a film.
It was just
And
a Zoom meeting.
it was first time was just a Zoom and we just sent it out to all the folks in the school district and that was it. Some of the kids, and all that. But we made it into something so much bigger because Vicky said, like,
Yeah.
came to me and said, hey, how would you like to do this in a studio? And we did. What's interesting is some of the people that were on the Zoom one weren't in The
Oh,
Ancestors one,
okay.
they were still offered to be in it, but they weren't. And it was nice that people still did new pieces. They made something their own, something new. So yeah, it was really nice. And the same thing with Descendants. We ended up doing it in that same studio with Sean. So big shout out
Okay.
to Sean and students on the set and Castaway Creative and Vicky Sedlak. So yeah.
Yeah, and everybody listening or watching, I'm going to put the links so you can watch Descendants and Ancestors. I'll put it up on the screen and I'll also put it in the show notes if you're just listening audio. Um, now, you won an award
I
for,
did. It was Descendants, yes.
yeah, it was a Lundi Award. Tell me about
Lunda.
that. That must have been Lunda. I'm sorry,
Lunda Award.
the Lunda
Yeah,
Award. Yeah,
so let me rewind a little bit. We ended up
yes.
showing the Descendants video at the Rhythmics. We premiered it. That was the first time it ever got premiered. Um,
Mm,
and after that, I ended up sending it in to the Oakland International Film Festival. I
oh,
met some wonderful woman there, and she had told me about, applying for the Oakland International Film Festival. She was like, "Have you thought about, doing anything like this or sending it off to film festivals?" And I was like, "No, I didn't even think really to do that." So I did it. And it was so amazing that I actually not only got selected, but I ended up winning an award for it. So it all came full circle. It was beautiful. I feel like to win an award from the Oakland International Film Festival is such an honor because Oakland is such a hub of art, of activists, of people who, have made some great changes in the world who are continuing to do that. So to win that award meant a lot to me. And to know that the Lunda Award itself comes from a place of Central Africa. And what it means is, those people were great storytellers. So to be connected with that, to be connected with Oakland is just, yeah, like I said, is an honor. It's great.
that must have been so soul satisfying to be
Yeah.
recognized for that piece that meant so much, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially, that came from the heart. And it's like one of those things, if somebody else saw that and felt, not just somebody, but many people saw that and felt it. So it's a beautiful thing because the thing about art, it's all about impact for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want to make an impact and a lasting impression on folks and for people to feel connected with humanity and within themselves. So I feel
Mhm.
like that video really captured that and paid homage to ancestors and descendants. So
Yeah, give us a little bit of a blurb about what order people should watch them in, and what is happening in the story in the videos.
yeah. So I would recommend watching Ancestors Wildest Dream first because that's the first one. That was the first video we created. And it pays homage to Black African roots. Folks in there from the African diaspora is telling their stories, how they are the ancestors' wildest dreams. And then definitely want to watch Descendants afterwards. The Alameda Post called it a spiritual sequel, which I love that they called it that.
Love that.
Descendants being a spiritual sequel because it is. It's about folks who come from all types of backgrounds, all
Mhm.
cultures, have unique stories talking about their journeys in America or just their experiences in America, and paying homage to their family lineage as well. So I would definitely say watch Ancestors first and then watch the Descendants video.
Okay, I love it. I recognize someone in there who was on
Yeah,
my
I bet you
podcast as
did.
well. So
It'll be
if
some
you
familiar faces for sure.
Yes, the familiar face that I recognized was Owl Snake. If people
Mhm.
wanna go back and listen to the two-parter Owl Snake episode, you aren't just writing about heritage. What are
Right.
your some of your other themes?
So I like to write a lot about mental health. Um, I have some poems I have a poem called Triggered that I dedicated to Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I've
Mm,
also made poems about still mental health, one called Not Feeling Well, and that's
mhm,
was for May, which is now Mental Health Awareness Month, just in general. I write about community. I have the island poem, but more than anything, like all of my poems are about hope and giving
mhm.
peace. I like to end almost all of my poems in that manner because I think it's so important for people to continue to have hope, to continue to be peaceful or try to be peaceful in this world and society. So all of my poems are always going to link back to humanity and peace in some sort of way or form.
Yeah, I did see a few of yours in the Alameda Post.
Mhm.
And one of the ones that you just mentioned, Triggered, that one really struck me because I feel like our poor men, they don't get enough love. Well, the men's health is men's mental health has been so societally buried.
Mhm.
And to read that poem, it was nice. And maybe I'll convince you to read it later. But it is a lovely poem. And I think I also saw Sea of Souls.
Sea of Souls was in the
Yeah.
Alameda Post as well. That's
And
for
the
I wrote that
island.
for Juneteenth, yeah,
Okay.
and then the island as well. I did that for that was National Poetry Month. So yeah, there's quite a few, and then obviously there's
Mhm.
some that I haven't even put out. Right,
Yeah.
I need to get my book
Tons.
out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean those ones, I think the ones that I haven't put out are really some of the ones that are about love, relationships.
Mhm.
Um and I perform them though, like I'll do them when I'm out at open mics and stuff, or when I get asked to be a part of any sort of events, I might do some of those. But yeah, the ones in the Alameda Post, the ones you saw are mainly about mental health,
Mhm.
heritage, community. I think I do have a loved one in there though too. I think I have the
I
feels. Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
But I know that, also people can go to your website and see,
Yeah.
links there to the ones that we're talking about in the Alameda Post. You can see links to you can see, the films.
Yes, they're in there too.
And also you have some clips of you doing, like, spoken word,
Uh-huh.
in various locations, and you also host, events, such as you're
Mhm.
doing the Unity Fest, but you do spoken word things? Do you do classes or things like that?
I've done like little workshops at the library. That's
Oh,
more
nice.
recent,
Mhm.
but mainly I do. I host events. I perform at various events. Yeah, that's where I'm kind of at right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm really trying to get my book out too. So,
Yeah, so tell
so
me about
yeah.
your book. Gosh, you're, like,
Um,
reading my mind.
I mean, the only thing I can tell you is I have a whole bunch of writings that need to be published. So I need to get the business side of it going. I'm just
Right.
writing, but it's like, okay, you need to do something with it. And I want to do an audiobook too, because I want
Well,
people to hear my book.
I was
I want
just gonna
people to hear
say
my
that.
voice when I do my poetry.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I
Yeah.
was like, how can you do that without doing an audiobook?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's in the works.
Absolutely.
It's in the
Yep.
works. Well, I'll figure it out.
So you do some, mentoring with
Mhm.
other artists or kids in the arts. Do you do that just in Alameda, the city of Alameda, California, or have you been able to spread the wealth everywhere?
So at the Alameda Unified School District, I work for the, like I said, the Office of Equity, and I also work at a middle school out here. So a lot of the work that I do at the Office of Equity is about workshops, events, things of that nature. Um, Working with the senior director of equity there, Shamar Edwards. So we do a lot of stuff together, as well as with our team, who is over at various other sites. But when I'm at the middle school, I'm usually running certain programs, mentoring students as far as students, trying to improve student achievement, whether that's helping them social emotionally through academics, things of that nature. I do run clubs though too. So I run clubs sometimes at the middle school, and one of the clubs is called the Originators Club, and I have students in there that are focused on art, whether that's drawing, whether that's poetry, whether that's just liking to write, whatever the arts that's for them. Then I also run Black Student Union, and I also run something called Lunch Vibes, which is just a spot for kids to be able to come and hang out. So I do a lot with the youth, just daily on a daily basis. So yeah, but even whenever I'm working with kids, it's all about making sure that they know their self-worth, and that I want them to become the best versions of themselves. And it's really about, like I said, really inspiring them to just be true to themselves and love on themselves, because I'm a firm believer, if you love yourself, you have so much more room to love everybody else. So just really trying to instill that in them.
I wish I had that when I was a kid. I wish I had a you when I was a kid. You're also connected to, like we were talking about before, Rhythmix Cultural Works, which is a wonderful community art space here in Alameda, California. They do classes, they have art shows. Right now, they're showing Art of the African Diaspora. It's a satellite exhibition. And you are involved in Unity Fest this year. But you have worked with them before quite a bit.
They were the first ones to premiere the Descendants video, so I really appreciate Rhythmix and Jennifer and the whole team. I performed at Rhythmix in the Parks at the Woodstock Park. I was there, and I did some of my poetry there. So I was also part of the Arts Change program, which is an AEF program. where students are able to view artists. I made a poem called Living Poetically, and we had a poetry slam for the youth. The kids were able to perform their poetry that was inspired by the poetry that I did.
Do you feel energy from the crowd? Does that inspire you for more work? How does that affect you when you're out there?
I just go out there and just be myself, and I think I kind of bring the energy to the people. I think they respond well to my energy, and it's just this continuum of exchange of energy that's just positive. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I think this is great for to build community and to hear, people from the African diaspora, everything from music to dance to poetry to whoever else is going to be out there performing. I know we have some really great performers. So yeah, I think it'll be a great way to build community and really lift up the African diaspora's voices.
What do you want people to come away from Unity Fest feeling?
Connection. I want them to feel connected to each other. Everything that I do is about connecting humanity and having people really take a good look at themselves and a look around them and building peace. So just if they take away that, just that, and we're just having fun, what I mean? Just having a really good time and being around a diverse crowd. I'm hoping that everybody comes out. Even though this is about the African diaspora, all cultures and races should be there because we are all connected. So I'm hoping it's a diverse crowd and everybody enjoys themselves.
Do you have other things coming up that people get to see, or should they go to your website?
Definitely go to my website, but also I do have some events coming up
Okay.
for Juneteenth. I'll be in Sassoon at the Marina Waterfront on June 21st. That's Father's Day. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And my dad hopefully will be there that day
Oh,
because they live out that way. So, hopefully he can show up for that day as well when I perform. So, Juneteenth, the Marina in Sassoon. Yeah, looking forward to
nice.
that. I'm excited
Okay.
about it. And then anything else, I have a bunch of stuff probably coming up. So if you follow me either on Instagram at Tae, Tae underscore poetically divine, you'll be able to see all the upcoming shows or anything that I have going on.
Oh, good. I'll put that up on the screen too and in the show notes. Thank
Yeah.
you. I would love for you to read something that is close to your heart. And I love the Descendants. If you want to do that one, that's great. If you want to do five, I will do it.
You know what? I think before I do the Descendants poem, I want to definitely pay homage to my family. Before I even do it, I want to talk a little bit about growing up. You know what I mean? Because like all of this would have never transpired if I didn't have the family that I have. I grew up around a lot of love, a lot of people who instilled morals and values in me, who taught me to be assertive, who taught me to love myself and to love others around me. So a huge shout out to my entire family, my parents, my grandma, my sister, my, these nephews, cousins, uncles, and aunts, and everybody, because I come from a long lineage of loving people. So huge shout out to them before I do any other poem.
I actually do have a
Yeah.
question for you then. Have you always been connected or curious about your descendants and wanting to reach back? Has it always been a drive for you for creating
Far
things?
as like for my ancestors and yeah, I mean, for me, I think just to kind of touch a little bit about childhood, I was a really quiet kid growing up. I didn't talk that much, but I felt a lot of things. I've always been like hypersensitive. I've always been very empathetic towards people, very compassionate kind of soul, and just not really knowing how to put that into words at 8 years old. Like, what does this even mean? How come I seem different than other kids? Other kids think stuff's funny that I don't think is funny. Like, it seems like wrong. Like, having these strong feelings as a kid, it just kind of puts you in a place where you're like, I'm different. Like you just know you're different. You're not fitting into the mold of what an average quote unquote 8, 9 year old person is thinking about. Like I'm thinking about, oh, how can we help the world? And they're like, I just want to go play with chalk and dance around. And it's
Yeah.
like these conversations are not happening with most 8, 9 years old, especially in the time when I was growing up. So it always put me in a place where I was like, okay, well, I'm just a different kind of kid. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
writing was my outlet. Writing was something that I was able to do because I never went to school for poetry. I didn't take classes in poetry. Poetry came to me. I created
Nice.
that for myself because it was an outlet. It was a way for me to express myself when I couldn't talk to the other kids or, even when I wanted to talk to my parents, I'd like put little notes under their door, like little poems. And my
I
mom would
did
be
that
like,
too.
yeah, my mom would be like, where'd you come up with this for? Oh, this is beautiful. And I just would do that. So for a long time, I couldn't vocally express myself the way I wanted to, but I would write it down. So I think that is a huge spiritual connection, but also from like an ancestral connection. You know what I mean? Like something within me makes me feel like I need to not only care about my lineage and the where I come from, but just whole humanity. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think that stems from something much more bigger than me.
Do you know if you have any other poets in your ancestry line?
I don't know.
That
What's
would be
interesting?
cool to
I
find
don't. I,
out.
I should find out. I did the ancestry DNA stuff, but
Did
I
you?
need to dig deeper. I need to dig deeper and see if there is poets because I honestly I don't know. I'm not
You
sure. I'm sure there
there's
probably is though, somewhere down the line.
I can't imagine there wouldn't be if it's this,
Right, right,
integrated into your soul.
right,
That
right.
that's shared across
Yeah,
generations.
right, for
I wonder
sure.
if you
Deep.
looked at like newspaper.org or something like that. You could like see if anybody's been published with your
Okay.
name.
Now I'm
That'd
gonna
be
have to
kind of
dig into some
interesting
stuff.
to dig
So it brings
around and find out where this came from, other than just the stars in the universe and everyone.
right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I pay homage to them before I do any poems because my family has played such a huge role in who I am today.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah.
Of course, I'm glad
Yeah.
you brought that up, because then I
Yeah.
started thinking, hello, we can't talk about descendants and ancestors without talking
Right.
about our families. I do hope that your dad is there for the Father's Day in Sassoon,
Yeah.
right?
My entire family,
Your
yeah.
whole
My
family.
mom, my sisters, my niece, nephew, everybody, cousins. Hope everybody comes out. So I can go ahead and do Descendants now.
Yeah, that'd be great. I
Okay.
love it. Thank you. Come back.
I am the descendant of planted seeds. I am the flower that bloomed on cracked soil, watered by tears and fueled by the light of my ancestors. I am the descendant of human evolution. Although prior to 1865, in America, my ancestors were legally considered property. 3/5 of a person is what the Constitution compromised to declare me. Oh, the irony. Let me remind. I am the direct descendant to the cradle of humankind. I am the descendant of royalty, as well as enslaved people and slave owners, making me the descendants of both poverty and the elite with no benefits to reap. I am the descendant of adversity and people that rebuked injustice and defeat. I am the descendant of war veterans, protesters, and ordinary people that could shake the ground when they would speak. I am the descendant of grandparents and parents that moved mountains for me to reach, knowing that someday we would make it to the peak. I am the descendant of endless effort, hope, faith, and belief, which is why I believe we must grow where we are planted. I am the descendant of peace. In the end, we're all descendants of Mother Earth. North, south, east, west, the sun rises and the sun sets. All people are connected. America is rooted in colonization and ancient legislation that contributes to modern disparity. History belongs to all of us for clarity. We should not selectively choose to forget or remember only certain times. Oh, say, can you see? By the dawn's early light, we've all experienced sunny and cloudy skies, calm and troubled storms, sweet hellos and sad goodbyes, highs and lows, and still we rise, humankind. It is our obligation to nourish ourselves, each other, and the land on which we reside. Let's normalize. I want you to survive. And I'm glad you are alive because when we cherish every life, we fertilize nutrient-rich soil for humanity to flourish and thrive. Thank you.
Thank you. I love that piece so much. Did you
Thank
see me
you.
tearing up? Do you see that?
No, I was just in my zone. I was just in my zone.
Oh, no, I'm serious. I'm
Yeah.
like teary-eyed. It's beautiful.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
And so again, I am going to put all of her stuff in the show notes, and you have to go to her website and hear more of this. I'm going to go cry. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank
it
you
so
for
much.
having me.
Not
Appreciate it.
just that you came and talked to me, but that you shared your art with us. And it's an
Thank
honor.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. And appreciate you, getting this out to the community. And I'm hoping that, this does keep people connected and definitely come out and to anything that I'm doing because I'm all about that. So thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. Thank you so much.
I love it. Thank you so much. All right.
All right. You take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Visit my website at traditioncafe.com. You can also reach out to me at Anna at traditioncafe.com. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, but you can watch us on YouTube. Visit